Ladies and gentlemen, now thanks to Kabam employee Dork Lessons, today we've got our very first look at some Spider-Man 2099 gameplay. And he's looking like a bit of an interesting character. He gives me a little bit of a vibe of a cross between like Red Guardian and Void in terms of his utility. He has the ability to be fully immune to buffs, which seems like a bit of a negative, but we've seen a lot with Red Guardian, especially in Mystic matchups. This is actually a really good ability to have for the right scenario, because it allows you to counter champions like Mojo, Dormammu, Symbiote Supreme, and all sorts of like annoying nodes that punish you in the form of buffs. And also it's really good for stuff like Buffet and Spite, where the opponents heal or gain additional power if you do have buffs active. So overall, I think that's a really strong ability to have, especially being a science champion. So yeah, that's like a very nice thing on the base of his kit. On top of that, it looks like he has a very strong ability to reverse power via his special 2 and also spamming heavy attacks as well. It looks like his power reversal actually might be the strongest in game, because I think you can get 5 stacks of exhaustion via the heavy attack, and according to this video as well, I think it does mention you can stack up the special 2 reversal a total of 5 times. But even if you just get one of those debuffs on the opponent, apparently it's enough to start reversing power. So yeah, if you can get all of the debuffs and pause them, which whenever you would trigger a buff, you pause debuffs on the opponent, then again, that is going to be stupidly powerful in the right matchup. And I'm thinking like versus Mojo, this guy is like the ideal character, and also versus Dragon Man as well, very strong, because again, whenever you've got like big power gain, and Dragon Man and Mojo have loads of additional power gain, should be really good. And I think we got to mention, the animations look absolutely amazing. I love his base combo, it looks fantastic. The special 2 animation, the special 1 look very clean there. So yeah, overall, I cannot wait to play around and test out this champion. But this is a few examples of his utility in play. So you can see here, we got the special 2, we got 5 stacks of exhaustion. So we've got some very strong and very quick power reversal there. And also with his awakened ability, whenever the opponent hits 0 power, it like can detonate all the ruptures on the opponent, but also based on the sig level, there's a chance for them not to be consumed as well. So these scenarios where you're quickly reversing power and draining your opponent to 0, then there's potential for some really big damage in the right matchup. And because he's got all these debuffs, you can use him for diss track and also use him to counter big healing nodes as well. So utility wise, it seems like there's a really good chunk going on the base of this champion's kit. So yeah, overall, he does look like a very interesting champion. I will say damage wise, there's not really anything that screams like super broken, but also at the same time, his damage doesn't seem bad. But I think he looks like he's going to be a champion that relies on being awakened and also having a fairly high sig level, because it looks like the majority of his damage comes from like stacking up rupture and then either getting the opponent to 0 power or getting them above a bar threshold. And if you don't have him awakened, then your rupture is going to be consumed every single time. But if you do have him awakened, again, there's an 80% chance that isn't going to be consumed there. I think this is probably like the most exciting part of the damage, and this is the special 2 against Juggernaut in Realm of Legends, so like a big special 2 burst combo, but also I'm pretty sure this is like a 6-star rank 4 champion, maybe with boosters active on top of that. So again, this is like kind of best case scenario when it comes to the damage, but again, if everything lines up, there's some pretty good burst damage off that special 2. I imagine even at like 5-star rank 5, this is going to feel pretty satisfying, but again, not seeing like too much 5-star rank 5 gameplay awakened in this video kind of raises concerns that his damage might be on the slightly more underwhelming side. So at least like going into the gameplay, that's the expectation that I'm going to have. If we look in a second, we can see some gameplay of the special 2 on a 5-star rank 5 unawakened, not properly lined up with the debuffs, and as you can see, that really wasn't terribly exciting. So I'm curious to see what this guy feels like at the 5-star rank 5 or 6-star rank 2 power level. But again, I think utility and kind of ease of use and how practical he is to play in like a stressful matchup is a very important part of kind of the viability of any new character. And gameplay wise, he actually doesn't seem that difficult or complex to play. And I feel like Spider-Man, he just seems like a really fun time. Again, whenever you dash back, instead of gaining buffs, because he's he's fully immune to gaining any sort of buffs. You pause all your personal debuffs aside from stun for 5 seconds. So again, utilizing the dexterity mastery in the same way as using like Stark Enhanced Spider-Man, you can also just pause these debuffs and keep on stacking them up and keep on enhancing your utility further as well. So yeah, the right evades on the special 2, especially combined with his special 1 mechanic, which gives him resistance stacks, which then also extends the duration of your pause. It seems like this isn't gonna like mean you need to dash back once every 5 seconds. Like, you can get a nice additional duration on it, if that makes sense. But at least that's the vibe and understanding that I had from watching this video. But yeah, overall, he seems really, really good, especially when you consider how many Mystic champions have like an additional source of power gain, and especially combined with all sorts of nodes in endgame content, this power gain is like further amplified. And the fact that he just like shuts this down and looks to have like a very easy reversal, I think is really, really nice as well. And any sort of scenario where you get like a massive damage bonus from having lots of debuffs on the opponent, I feel like this champion is really going to shine and do well, but also equally he's going to be absolutely screwed for damage if you can't apply debuffs to your opponent. So it looks like, much like any well-balanced champion, he's going to have matches that he absolutely dominates and walks all over just because he's got that perfect utility for, and also other matches where he's going to be completely unviable against skill champions that like shrug off debuffs. All sorts of additional nodes are going to screw this champion over. So he's not going to be one of those characters that's amazing for like every single fight and scenario in the game. He is going to have his weaknesses, but I'm curious to see how good he is for actually taking down some of the most annoying Mystic champions in the game. Also, as a bit of a bonus in this video, we saw that if you have the special 2 debuff on the opponent, if you hit into the opponent's block, it's actually going to apply Rupture guaranteed as well, which is really, really nice. There's also an additional synergy that gives your final medium attack a chance to give you the debuff pause as well, which is awesome. So yeah, I like the base of his kit. He's got a lot of good stuff on there for the right matchups, but also when it comes to his special attacks, so this is the special 1, it applies 3 stacks of physical vulnerability to the opponent, and this also counts as a unique debuff to enhance the special 2 damage a little bit further here. And also on top of that, the special 1 gives him 15 stacks of his resistance passives, and these increase the duration further of the debuff pausing ability, at least to the best of my understanding in this video. The special 2 applies a brand new debuff called Wither, which I believe applies additional Rupture on the block and also reduces the opponent's power gain as well. So you can see here, Deadpool X-Force, again, he gets that power gain, but it's completely inverted there, and also based on the amount of unique debuffs that you have on the opponent, it deals additional burst damage on top of that. So the goal is to get all of your debuffs up on the opponent, like smash that special 2 and just get cycling that. But also we got the special 3, and the special 3 applies a 25-second slow. Now, the really interesting part about this slow as well is it counts for the purpose of the special 2 as 4 unique debuffs, and also after using the special 3, the opponent is stunned for 4 seconds as well, so a really nice duration on that one. Also, thinking about it, the slow on the special 3 is actually going to be really, really good for countering certain unstoppable and evade opponents. Again, you need to get to a special 3 first, so there's a little bit of ramp up, but I was just thinking as well, he pauses all debuffs outside of stun, so as long as you keep the passive up and you keep evading, or you have the synergy that gives the pause a chance to trigger on your final medium attack, again, you can have amazing uptime on this slow. So yeah, once you get that special 3 going, man, I think there's actually some really spicy damage output potential. So yeah, we got lots of debuffs for this man, the ability to invert power gain, the potential to counter evade and also unstoppable champions. I think he is very, very heavy in terms of the amount of utility that he does have, but I'm just curious to see how he's going to perform in all these different endgame scenarios and exactly what he's going to be really good for and what shortcomings the champion might have. The 2 big things I see holding this champion back, at least from the deep dive, are his ramp up, because ideally you need special 3, special 1, then special 2, and again, that's a lot of power to get, so coming straight out the gate, I don't really think his damage is going to be immediately very impressive. But once you get into the fight, I think it's going to be really, really nice there. I don't think, and I could be incorrect on this one, that even in the best case scenario, he's going to be at that, whoa, this champion's absolutely broken level of damage. But I think considering the amount of utility, he doesn't necessarily need to be at that to be a really good champion. But I think right now as well, really my only other concern is he's just very reliant on debuffs. So any matchups where the debuffs are removed or the opponent's debuff immune, again, he's really not going to shine in those matchups. But again, a champion can't be good for absolutely everything. It's good to have balance in the game. But yeah, overall, man, I'm not really seeing like big kind of red flashing warning signs when it comes to this Spider-Man. Like my only concern is his damage might be a little bit underwhelming until you really get into his damage ramp up. But I think the utility is more than going to make up for it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts on the brand new Spider-Man in the comment section below. And if you did enjoy today's breakdown, please do smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Massive love to Dork Lessons and Kabam once again for this early preview today. Thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.